Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be focusing on hole 14 here at this golf course, and yes, I have come up with a name for this place. I'm going to share that a little bit later on in the video, but today we're going to focus on hole number 14. We just finished this 13th hole here, and it's coming out to this little area where it's a little bit of a lowland, and I've done a little bit of sculpting already where this is all going to be bunker kind of through here, and it's going to be kind of a waste area just to the left of this 14th fairway. And the plan with this hole is to be a big par 5, and one of the major themes is going to be a layered bunkering effect, with a bunker being here and then a bunker up by the green that's a little bit higher, and it's going to really be visually deceptive. That's kind of the goal for this hole. Without any further ado, I'm going to lay some surfaces down, and I think I'll be able to better explain how the bunkers are going to layer on top of each other and how they're going to hide some of the fairway and some of the tee shot of this hole. So let me get in there, lay some surfaces down, and then I'll do a little bit more explaining on how I want this hole to visually look. So let's get in there and do it. So as you can see, I have a couple layers of bunkers here on this hole, and the first one is on the right. That's the first one I want to talk about because it blocks out, if you get it up into here, which is at about 300 yards or so, you can get it up in here at 311, and it's about 284 to the front right edge of it. But if you get it up into here, you can be blocked out visually, but also when you're standing here, it's a cool layering effect. It doesn't serve as much of a purpose, but this first right bunker has the second bunker that's right up by the green directly behind it. It doesn't look like there's much between that bunker and the bunker up by the green, so it makes that green look a lot closer than it actually is. It's just kind of an interesting effect, but the one that really matters is this one on the left over here. And as you can see, there's this bunker that's surrounding the edge of this cliffside almost. It's not really a cliff, but basically that is wrapping around and it's blocking the view of the fairway that's past it, and then the bunker behind it is so closely layered on top of it that it also looks like there's no distance between that bunker and the first bunker and the second bunker. But really, when you get up here, there's a ton of room up here. As you can see, there's almost, let's measure it out right here, there's 60 yards of room between those two bunkers, and it's a 280 carry, so if you can get driver up into here, this is definitely the spot to be. But visually from the tee box, it doesn't look like there's any room over there. There's no landing area, and because of that, you might be a little more deterred from aiming up this left side. But the other benefit of this side over here is you get a better angle in at this green, which kind of goes away from the player and has this protecting bunker to the right. But if you can get it over here, you don't have to take on as much of the bunker, and I plan on making a run up over here to this side of the green. I haven't done it yet. I haven't sculpted this green yet, but that's kind of the idea with this hole, is it's going to run up the left side and it's going to be able to roll towards the middle of the green. So being over here is a huge benefit because not only do you see the green very clearly, that bunker doesn't block it nearly as much as it does from this side, but also you get a better angle in towards the green. But it does bring on this cliff side, which I'm waffling with the idea of making this out of bounds. I plan on planting on this edge line of the waist area here, but I haven't decided that yet because that'd be pretty penalizing to get it down into here. But I also don't want it to be just so easy, blast it up here, and this is almost nothing down into this area. So I'm kind of waffling with that idea. We'll see what it ends up being. But for now, I think we're in a pretty good spot here. I think these bunkers are well placed, and those are the main bunkers on the hole. So I am now going to go in and I'm going to actually play some surfaces down, get the fairways down, sculpt this green a little bit better, and just get everything into a spot where we're feeling pretty good, where we can actually get to planting this thing. So I'm going to go in there and let's get some surfaces down. This hole is already starting to look pretty cool here. I'm going to take you through a couple of the things that I did. I added some of the waste bunkers up here, and I also placed some of this waste bunker that's going to go in this valley right here. But I did a little sculpting to the green, and this is generally how I want it to play, but my plan is to have the tree line come in really close behind here, so that's why it's kind of blank right there. I think this hole looks a little awkward because I don't have any trees around it, so it's really not framed up very well. But from the tee box, I think this sight line is really good. I think it's going to look really nice once we have the trees in, kind of framing, getting your eyes focused towards the fairway. So that's what I'm going to focus on right now. I want to get these trees down so that I can get a better idea of how this hole actually looks, because at the moment it's very naked and very bare. So let's get in, let's plant some trees, and then we can come back and we can talk about how this hole is looking. But I think it's going to look good once the trees get down. So let's go in there and let's put some trees. With the tree line in, I think that this hole is coming out really nicely. I think it's going to look really good once we get some of the brush in and everything like that. It still looks a little bit bare because you can see through the trees. And the other issue too is that these other holes that are definitely going to be a part of the view of this hole, such as hole 15 over here and hole 16 on this side, there's no trees on that side, and it just makes it look a little bit open on the left. But when we finish hole 15 and hole 16, it's going to look a lot better, and I'm not too concerned about it. So yeah, I'm overall pretty happy with where we're at. I like this little collection area as well. I think this pin in the back right is looking diabolical, and you can definitely get a 3-wood running back into here rolling off of this slope, but if it goes too hard, it could roll all the way down here. So you got to be careful how aggressive you're going to get over to this pin. I might flatten that out a little bit. It looks a little bit much at the moment. But yeah, the other thing with this hole is it's really difficult planting this one, especially with the trees, because I want the tree line to enclose the hole and make it look and make it feel complete. But it's really tough with the shadows going directly across the fairway here. It is covering a lot of this hole. And part of the visual deception with this hole is that this fairway is supposed to look more enticing over here to the right, but it's all covered in shadow, so it's really tough to see. And it's something that I've been thinking about removing some of these trees, but I don't quite know what the final solution is going to be there. I might just leave it, honestly, because you can't have every shadow perfectly, and if you try and be too perfect in this game, sometimes you can just bash your head in, you know? So I might just leave it, but we'll see as we get to planting here. There's tons of trees back here, but that's going to come in as well once I add in all the trees that come with the game when you go into terrain settings. So yeah, this hole is looking pretty good, but another thing that I wanted to go over was what I was going to call this course. And I finally came up with a name, and the name, as you can see in that top left corner, is Country Club. It's supposed to be the Country Club at Pocatelego, but I ran out of characters, so that's kind of what we're getting here. But I did some research into the area that I'm trying to do, or that this course is trying to be based out of, and it's kind of southeast South Carolina. Pocatelego it's technically a town, but it's also a river, and the river is pretty close to Beaufort, South Carolina. And I was just kind of looking through the map, and that name just stuck out to me for whatever reason. I like to go with original, distinct names. And I thought the Pocatelego River was kind of a perfect setting for where this course is supposed to be based out of, because it's not quite on the ocean. And I know that this looks like the ocean, but I needed some kind of body of water to plant this course up against. Like I said, it's not really supposed to be on the ocean. It's more supposed to be on like an inlet or a channel, which is what the Pocatelego River would be. But this was a perfect place that I could do it because it's a little bit closer to another course that this has kind of been based off of, and it's been a little bit more based off of Congaree, which is a course more towards central South Carolina than it is towards the coast. And I've definitely incorporated elements of Congaree into this place, even though it's supposed to be a quote coastal course. With the mixing of styles, I felt the Pocatelego River and that river area was a perfect place to have it. It was kind of a channel that goes out to the ocean. So that's the name I've decided on. Thank you to everybody who submitted names, but once I found this, I kind of knew that this was the name that I needed to go with. We finally have a brand here, and here's the logo that I came up with for it. That's going to be the logo going on in. So I'm happy that we finally got a name on this course. It said YouTube Golf Course on the top of the screen for the better part of 6 to 8 months, so I'm pretty happy here. Now with that out of the way, let's get in there and let's get planting, and let's really try and get this hole to look good. It's a bit of a struggle right now. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I think maybe I'm holding out hope here. If we get some of that brush planting that kind of blocks some of the long sight lines and makes the hole look a little bit more enclosed in, I'm hoping that's going to help out. But if it doesn't, we'll go in and we'll make changes as necessary. But let's get in there and let's get some planting done. Here we go. Well, there you have it, folks. Hole number 14 is finally completed. And I'm not going to lie, this hole was just tough. It was a tough hole to get looking the way that I wanted it to look, especially because the land was just so flat around here. I had flattened it so much that getting a lot of the kind of micro sculpting that I wanted to have happen, especially with some of this layered bunker effect, it really made this hole a challenge for me. And just having it be a par 5, it definitely just adds to the difficulty because you've got so much more to plant and so much more of your sight line that you have to make sure it looks exactly right. But as you can see, we did get it all done. You can see some of these native grasses over here. I really like this bearded bunker effect where the grass is above the bunker like that. So if you get stuck back here, you've also got the grass that's contending with your sight line up to the green. So I think that works exactly how I wanted it to work. But then also this tee shot over to here, I think this view is actually really, really nice, and it doesn't even have the assist of the sun being behind the hole. So I'm really happy with how this, especially this approach shot, looked. I think you'll notice over here to the left that I didn't do any of this planting, and it's for 2 reasons. One, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do over here. So I have a request for you guys. Leave in the comments section what you think that this area should look like. Do you think I should add some rocks? I'm considering adding like a bunch of rocks around this and making it more of like an actual cliff than what it looks right now. Or do I leave it like this and maybe add some bushes and some minor planting to it? Or do I just leave it completely blank and kind of go for, you see this texture right here, where it's very like, it looks rocky just by itself. Do I make it a little bit sharper and have it look more like this than maybe like this? This area, sorry, that yellow thing got in the way. I'm waffling back and forth, and I don't want to commit to anything because the other part of it is this, I could really see myself getting away or getting out of hand with how much I plant in here, because I have a picture. I've seen a couple holes that kind of look like have this waste outcropping here. And I think I could let the plant meter get a little bit away from me if I don't know exactly how much I have to work with. Unfortunately, this hole's gonna look a little incomplete at the end of this episode because I wanna save that for when I have all of the holes finished, because I wanna come back and use the rest of my plant meter on this and make sure that I have enough for the rest of the golf course. So that's the reason I'm leaving it blank, but definitely let me know what you think I should do with these cliff faces, given like unlimited budget with the object meter, that is. But yeah, let's get in here and let's actually play the hole and get an idea of how it's going to play. So as you can see here, it's a 275 carry right here, and it plays a little bit uphill, so it's probably a 277 carry, so not a crazy long carry, but it definitely looks from the tee, if you're standing back here, there's almost no fairway over to the left. It's very visually deceptive, but you do have a lot of fairway over here, but it does run out a little bit with driver, so you'd probably have to hit 3-wood if you weren't willing to take on this cliff side. And I still haven't decided if I want this to be out of bounds or not, but that's the idea with this hole. So let's hit a tee shot up here and get it hopefully into play. Look at that shot. Perfect. I'm getting a little better at this game as we go along here. So now we got this second shot, and I really do like this second shot a lot. I'm really happy with the way that it looks and how it plays uphill, because I don't have too many uphill holes on this course, which is one issue I kind of have with it at the moment, but I mean, you can't have everything perfect. Let's get 3-wood and try to use this side slope and get this working a little bit over here. I might actually have to move this pin. This is a little bit too close to maybe this yellow slope, but yeah, we're going to try and get it right up into here. Oh man, the fast got me. A 9-iron splash shot, really? Maybe that is the play. We're gonna do a flop. Ooh, there we go. So yeah, so there you have it. There is hole number 14, and one thing I wanted to mention is I'm not 100% sold on this green, but I think I'm going to leave a couple of things for an editing episode that's going to come at the end of this whole series. I want to go back and I want to make just some changes and maybe some tweaks to some of the holes. There's definitely a couple greens on the front side that I want to mix up a little bit, and a couple of just consistency things throughout the course, such as these rough lines. I think on a couple holes on the front, I got a little bit out of, I screwed up a couple of the spots. So I want to make sure everything's uniform across the entire course. And I think I'm going to save that for an editing episode to where I can just tweak some of these greens and make sure they're right on. But this is pretty much how I want it to play. I really like this little false front that we have here. I think you can get a layup into here, but still have a decently tricky chip shot up to this front pin, and you definitely have a tricky shot up to this back left pin. You got to hit it over that mound, but keep it short of the second mound. I like the way that this green is playing, and I like the way that this hole is playing. So yeah, the final thing that I kind of wanted to discuss here was what my plan is with PGA 2K23 coming out, because it's coming out October 14th, which is right around the corner here. It's in a week's time when this video is airing. So I think that my plan is I'm going to create one more episode, and I'm going to do hole number 15 here. So that's going to be the final episode that I complete before PGA 2K23 comes out. I'll finish this 15th hole. I plan on still doing another live stream between then, so I'll finish up hole 11 here, which is another hole that I did on stream. If you missed it, the VOD is on YouTube, so you can check it out. You can check it out on my channel if you want to watch kind of my live designing of this hole. I've got a good bit of it done, but I obviously have done zero of the planting. So if you want to check that out, make sure you're following my YouTube, and I'll try to let people know on the TGC Tour forums that I am streaming. But I hope to see you guys there, because the streams are really fun and I'm having a good time doing them. But I plan on finishing this 11th hole and possibly even this 12th hole, because as you can see, there's not too much to do on this 12th hole other than lay down the green surface and then also plant. So I might be able to get that done as well. But once I get done with hole 15 and I air that episode right before PGA 2K23 comes out, I think I'm going to just port the course over to 2K23 as long as there's still that function in the game. I'm kind of banking on the fact I'll be able to do some adjustments to this course in 2K23. And if I can do that, I think that's going to be how I finish off this course, is I'm going to port it all over and do it in 2K23 and make the necessary changes that I need to make it play well in 2K23. I think that's probably the best option. I've gotten a little unlucky, but I mean, it's also some self-inflicted luck by not finishing, by taking almost 3 months off from building this golf course. I've gotten a little unlucky that the game is coming out right as I'm getting to the end of this course, but I still want to finish it, and I still want it to be in 2K23. So I think that is the plan going forward, but definitely I'm going to get this 15th hole done as a part of 2K21 right before the new game comes out. But I am really excited to get in and start doing some stuff in 2K23. I've got some ideas for some stuff that I want to do, and make sure you let me know what else you'd want to see from me in 2K23. I think I might start doing some course reviews. I want to get some of those on the channel and maybe talk a bit about more of some other people's courses rather than just my own, just building my own golf course. And I definitely want to do some of the playing. I'm not as interested in playing the game as I am designing in the game and kind of the course design aspect of it, but I definitely want to do some content based around, you know, actually playing the game. But that's going to do it today for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And leave a like on this video as well. And also, just a reminder, make sure to let me know what you think I should do with this little cliff line here, how I should plant it, what I should make it look like. How would it best fit into a course that's built in kind of the lowlands of South Carolina? How would almost a 10-foot cliff look? And I haven't quite decided, so I want to hear what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.